The Echo of the Waves. A love between two worlds. On the steep coast of Galicia, where the Atlantic furiously strikes the rocks and the fog intertwines with the intense green of the meadows, lived Iria, that young fisherwoman, with a soul as untamed as the sea. Her life passed between the nets, the smell of salt and the whisper of the waves, a world far from the bustle of the city. One day, the sea brought to its shores came Mateo, a Madrid architect who sought refuge and peace far from the stress of his urban life. Mateo, with his grey eyes and elegant bearing, was a stranger in that corner of the world, or a stranger who contrasted with the rusticity of the landscape and the people. Iria and Mateo met on the beach, under a grey sky that threatened a storm. Iria, with her sun-tanned skin and her look, Ada directa, she offered Mateo refuge in her cabin, a gesture of sincere hospitality. Mateo, grateful, accepted, without imagining that encounter would change the course of their lives. In Iria's cabinilla, time stopped. Conversations stretched into the early morning, between the crackling of the fireplace and the sound of rain hitting the roof. Iria spoke to him of her life at sea, of the legends of the sirens and the sunken treasures, of the untamed force of the waves. Mateo, for his part, told him of his projects, of his dreams of building sustainable cities, of the beauty hidden in the lines and forms. As the days passed, the attraction between them grew stronger, a feeling that defied the differences between their worlds. Iria felt fascinated for Mateo's brilliant mind, for his passion for architecture and his vision of the future. Mateo, for his part, felt attracted by Iria's freedom, by her connection with nature and her spirit, indomitable spirit. However, their love was destined to be a labyrinth of obstacles. Iria's family, rooted in the traditions of the village, viewed Mateo with suspicion, the stranger who had robbed to the heart of his daughter. Iria's mother, a woman with a severe gaze and sharp words, warned her about the dangers of an impossible love, about the insurmountable distance between their worlds. Mateo, for his part, he had to return to Madrid, to his life, to his responsibilities. His work awaited him, his projects needed his attention. The distance stood as an insurmountable wall. Pleasant, they ended up separating their destinies. The farewell was an echo of pain and broken promises. Iria, with tears in her eyes, asked Mateo to return, to not forget her. Mateo, with a heavy heart, he promised her that he would return, that his love was stronger than distance. In Madrid, Mateo tried to resume his life, but the memory of Iria haunted him like a shadow. His work had become loaded, his projects lacked sense. The city, before vibrant and full of life, now seemed to him a labyrinth of cement and solitude. Iria, in Galicia, waited patiently for Mateo's return. His days were filled with nostalgia and melancholy, but his faith in love remained intact. He wrote letters to Mateo, letters full of poetry and hope, letters that traveled by sea and land, crossing the distance that separated them. One day, a letter from Mateo arrived at Iria's cabin. The writing trembled, the words were broken. Mateo confessed that he could not return, that his life was in Madrid, that his love for her was an impossible dream. Iria's heart broke into pieces. Hope vanished like fog at dawn. She felt that the sea, witness to her love, mocked her color. She took refuge in her work, in the nets and the waves, trying to drown her sadness in the immensity of the ocean. Years passed, and Iria became a legend in the town, the fisherwoman of Alma, an untamable woman who had loved a city man. Mateo, for his part, married and formed a family, but never forgot Iria, the woman who had taught him the true meaning of love. One day, Mateo, already old, returned to Galicia. He looked for Iria's cabin, but only found ruins and memories. He sat on the beach, facing the sea, and let the waves tell him the story of a master. It's impossible. A love that had left an indelible mark on his soul. The echo of the waves carried away his tears, his regrets, his broken dreams. And, in the silence of the afternoon, Mateo understood that love, like the sea, is eternal, although sometimes its paths separate. End.